So for today's topic, what we'll discuss about the Glacier. So it's another backup service for storage that is offered by AWS, Amazon Web Services. So what exactly is Glacier? What's it's all about? I said we had a different kind of storages. One is block storage and object storage that we talked about this EBS, elastic block storage, that we use this elastic block storage for attaching it to the instances. And we talked about this S3 simple storage service where it is used for storing object files, like uploading the objects and sharing the objects with other people through URL and maintaining a versioning on that life cycles, getting notified through SMS, SNS, and we can even host a static website by using this S3 web bucket. And there is another storage service, so it's Glacier. We use this Glacier for backup services, and he is offering this Glacier services for very cheap. So when do we need to use the Glacier services? Assume that you had some large files of some large data, a very big volume of backup data, so you wanted to backup it. So we'll use this Glacier as an disaster DR points. So for every office we'll have DR sites. We'll call it as disaster recover sites. So if something happens to your ongoing running on-premises office or infrastructure, so where do you get all the data? So where do you store all the data? So for that, we usually maintain DR sites. We'll call it as disaster recovery sites or business continuity plan. So under business continuity plan, we have to maintain our disaster DR sites. So it's like a scenario. So whatever the dumps you have, just will upload the dumps to AWS storage. Here he is offering this service to us as a SaaS service, software as a service. So on the back end, we haven't have to bother about the infrastructure, what he is running on that, the Glacier, and what operating system he is using, what is the size of the infrastructure. I mean the instance type T2 or T4, M3, M4 బ్యాకెండ్లో తను ఏదైనా యూజ్ చేసుకోనండి, we don't care. He's offering that infrastructure to us Glacier service, that service to as Glacier service. So I'll upload all my content in Glacier, and I'll use the Glacier service as backup thing. So before we see into this Glacier, here we'll call it as vault. So let me draw a diagram for you so that you'll better understand. So what is this? See, it's like you're making an vault connection between the AWS Glacier and your on-premises data center. So whatever the backup data that you wanted to upload to AWS Glacier as a DR point, so that here you wanted to create a vault. So after that you have to upload your data. So while creating a vault, you have to choose in which region you wanted to launch this vault, create this vault, and and for whom do have to have the access to authenticate into this vault. Guys, 1 second, be on hold. I was getting a call. Just. Hello, good morning, sir. Gmail's లేదు సార్ డిజేబుల్ చేయలేదు సార్ ఈరోజు లేదు సార్ లేదు సార్ చేయలేదు సార్ hello. Yes guys, what we are talking about, okay. So we'll create a wall between our on-premises data center and AWS Glacier, and in order to authenticate into that wall we have to create an IAM user. Under that IAM user,
Karthik, can you share the screen?
yeah, so we have to create an IAM user. For that IAM user we have to provide, see, we know that while creating an IAM user we'll get an secret key and access key, and we'll will give will give a policy to that IAM user such a way that he'll have full access to on this vault service, on this Glacier service. So he can authenticate into this Glacier service, and he can establish a vault connection with the help of that access key and secret key, and he can upload the data from his on-premises data center to AWS Glacier. So he'll upload the data to Glacier. Okay, very good. So how we'll store the data in Glacier? So we'll store the data in Glacier as containers. So we'll call this as containers. Okay. So we'll create a containers and we'll store the data in containers. So let me show you. All services under the storage and service content delivery. Here you'll find Glacier service, GLACIER, archiving storage in the cloud. So you have to store the data in cloud in archive mode అండి. ఆర్కైవ్ అంటే కంప్రెస్ చేసి ఒక ఫైల్లో .tar.zip. Okay, you have to store in that way. Okay, in which region you wanted to start this Glacier service? I want to start this Glacier service at Mumbai region because we don't have this Glacier service at Singapore and the South America. I'll start with Asia, Mumbai. So what's the pricing he is giving? Why it is cheap? How much cheap? AWS Glacier pricing. And I want to compare this Glacier pricing with AWS EC2 also. AWS, sorry, EBS pricing and AWS S3 pricing. Here in S3, I'll go with Mumbai. So, so for storage price, he is charging for Glacier $0.01 per GB per month. మీరు ఒక జీబీ స్టోరేజ్ 1 GB స్టోరేజ్ 1 month అక్కడ పెడితే he'll charge you $0.01. So for uploading and retrieval request, for every 1,000 requests he's charging 0.06 per 1,000 requests. What is this request? So if you want to upload some data, so you'll raise a request. I want to upload some data. So please upload that my data. So that for that request, for every authenticating into that Glacier through the key, access key and secret key, and uploading it. See, we don't do this backup services continuous, right? We'll do on the mid of the nights, daily or weekly or monthly. So let us assume you have 10 files. You wanted to upload 10 files. So you have to make a 10 objects, we call it as. So you have to make a 10 upload requests. Uploading data. Upload successfully completed. Second, I had another file. Uploading data. Upload and upload request. So for that each and for that request is like pretty 1,000 requests upload or download. He's charging $0.06. And what is this list to alt get job output or delete? So how do you upload from my data center to AWS Glacier? How do I upload? You are saying you'll provide some access key and secret key, and I'll create this vaults in AWS Glacier. So how do I have to configure this to my storage server? So there are some softwares to do this job, or through this AWS CLI command line interface you can do this job, or uh, just guys just give me a minute. So for through software you can do it, or Amazon CLI. So you have to download the SDK kit. From there you can do it. So after that, if you want to list what are all the vaults that are available in the region, what are all the container that in the vaults that are available in the region, if you want to list that values, or like you want to delete such kind of actions to perform some actions on the vaults or containers, he's giving it to you for free. And for retrieving the data, see, for uploading the data, upload చేయడం free, download చేయడం free. But for storage he is charging you. But for making an upload or download request, for requests he's charging you 0.06 for downloads per 1000 requests. Okay, this is what about the pricing of Mumbai region. This would be very high. So చూసినట్టున్నాం, depending upon the type, SSD normal 0.114 per GB. There he is charging you just 0.01. Here he is charging you 114 per GB. It's very high when compared to Glacier. And what about this S3? For 1 TB he is charging you 0.300 per GB. అదే మన గ్లేషియర్ అయితే 0.0100 per GB. ఫస్ట్ 1 TB వరకండి. This price, S3 price. Like that you have to compare the price. See, so after comparing the three prices, we can observe that the Glacier storage is very cheap. It is 10 times cheaper than EBS storage and 3 times cheaper than S3 storage. Why? Because we rarely upload the data and we rarely retrieve the data from Glacier service. అంటే there is a saying అండి, బ్యాక్ ఎండ్ లో ఏం చెప్తారంటే, అమెజాన్ గా ఈజ్ యూజింగ్, నేను చెప్పాను కదా, ఫర్ ఎవ్రీ ఆర్గనైజేషన్, ఫర్ ఎవ్రీ కంపెనీస్, మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ది కంపెనీస్ they'll maintain the data center under the resources, they'll maintain it for, they'll calculate the lifespan of every resource and every server for 3 years. And after the 3 years they'll remove this resource, the server, whatever the condition it is in, either it is working condition or failure. ఆ సర్వర్ ని తీసేసి కొత్త సర్వర్ పెట్టేసి they'll copy the data from old server to new server and they'll start utilizing the new server. So they'll use the only server for only 3 years in data centers, because the server guy, whoever it is, he's offering this warranty for 3 years, such kind of things. That is the industrial standard. After that, anyhow he'll disable the hard disk, అదైతే కంపల్సరీ హార్డ్ డిస్క్ డిసేబుల్ చేస్తాడు, క్రాష్ చేస్తాడు. సో వాట్ హీస్ డూయింగ్ విత్ కంప్యూట్, I think, we think, there is a saying that for this Glacier service he is using on the back end the storage, sorry, the compute part. I mean to say the motherboard, the RAM, the CPU part, not the hard disk. He is using the expired 3 years తర్వాత ఉంటాయి, ఎక్స్పైర్ అయి ఉంటాయి కదా, రిమూవ్ చేస్తారు కదా డేటా సెంటర్ నుంచి, ఆ హార్డ్వేర్ తీసుకొచ్చి గ్లేషియర్ సర్వీస్ యూజ్ చేస్తారన్నాడు అని ఒక సేయింగ్ అండి. దట్స్ ద రీజన్ హీఈస్ గివింగ్ దిస్ సర్వీస్ టు అస్ ఫర్ వెరీ చీప్. అంటే హార్డ్ డిస్క్ కాదు, హార్డ్ డిస్క్ కొత్తదే పెడతాడు. So we'll see how we create this. He also said a Glacier is an extremely low-cost storage service that provides secure, durable, and flexible storage for your data backup and archivals. So here, create valves, and you have to set data archival policies, data retrieval policies. So it's not like I had a 1 GB of data, I'll upload my 1 GB of data and I'll download my 1 GB of data within after 5 to 10 minutes of uploading. No, you can upload any size of the data to this AWS Glacier, but for retrieval there is some policies. So depending upon the retrieval speed, depending on the retrieval rate, అంటే 1 MB per second, retrieval అంటే while downloading 2 MB per second, 10 MB per second the data. he'll charge you. So అదే for uploading he won't charge you. For retrieval, see if you అంటే retrieval అంటే జీబీ చార్జ్ చేయడండి. మీ రిట్రైవల్ స్పీడ్ పెంచుకోవాలనుకున్నారు అనుకోండి, నేను ముందే చెప్పాను అప్లోడింగ్ అండ్ డౌన్లోడింగ్ ఈజ్ ఫ్రీ, బట్ హియర్ ఐ వాస్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ ద రిట్రైవల్ స్పీడ్, ద బ్యాండ్ విడ్త్ లెంత్, ఆ పైప్ ఉంటుంది కదా డౌన్లోడ్ రిట్రైవల్ చేసే ఆ పైప్ సైజ్, whether it should be in 1 MB per second or 2 MB per second or 10 MB per second. For that, in retrieval, he has different costs. And even we can enable the notifications on this walls. So whenever you do upload or you do retrieve or you do actions like delete, so for every action, for every event, we call it as, for every event you perform on walls, if you want to get notified, then we can enable SNS service on this Glacier and we will get notified through emails. So what is this SNS? So we'll talk about this on tomorrow class. SNS and SES. So just remember in your mind that till now SNS is a notification service. It notifies the users for every event triggered on the walls. What kind of events, whether it is upload, put, post, delete, list, whatever the event it is. Okay, so get started. So welcome to AWS Glacier. So where in Mumbai region I was trying to launch. So in only this one region, AP Southeast 1 and one availability zone is offering that, and let me name it as vault name as, I'll name it as a test case 44. What he is saying, you can upload any kind of data, photos, videos or document. So you can compress and archive it into a single file like we tar, zip and upload as one archive. So whatever the data you have, just compress it and upload as one archive. So one single archive అంటే tar.zip file may be up to maximum 40 terabytes only. A single archive can be as large as 40 terabytes. So you can store unlimited of data. I mean to say unlimited of data అంటే we'll call it as archives in Glacier. For every archive, he'll provide you one unique ID with date and time of creation on that ID. Okay. So do you want to enable notification services on this vault? For time being, I don't want to enable any notification services because we haven't created the topic for enabling this. Before we enable, we have to create a topic and we have to attach the topic to here. See, enable notification. Or enable your notification or create a new SNS topic. I don't want this to happen now. I'll go with next. So just it's a review. I was going to launch one test case 44 volt at AP Southeast 1 region. Submit. So I had, this is a dashboard of vaults. From here you can list all n number of vaults that you created. Right now I have only one vault, right? So where it is created, so and so region, created on so and so time, and the ARN, Amazon resource name. For that, whatever the resource you created with Amazon, we created a vault in Glacier service. So for that vault, he is naming one unique name. He'll call it as Amazon resource name. This is what notifications enabled. No, nothing visible. So here comes the permission part. What he's saying, you can set a vault access policy to manage permissions to your vault in addition to the IAM policies. So how do you want to control this Amazon Glacier walls? Either we can achieve this through by writing a policies on vault, and see నేను ఒక IAM యూజర్ క్రియేట్ చేశాను, దానికి ఒక సీక్రెట్ కీ యాక్సెస్ కీ ఉంది, ఆ సీక్రెట్ కీ యాక్సెస్ కీ నా దగ్గర ఉంది, నా సిస్టంలో నా స్టోరేజ్ సర్వర్లో కాన్ఫిగర్ చేశాను, సో ఐ కెన్ అథెంటికేట్ ఇంటూ దిస్ అంటే నో. హియర్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు రైట్ ఎ పాలసీ. It's like managing access control to which I am user. Edit policy document. Add a permission. So allow. Whom do you wanted to allow this? Everybody. So here I am giving access to all AWS accounts, including accounts that are not owned by me. No. Action. Complete. Where is that full action? One second. Last class we created one user, right? So I'm creating a AWS user. was looking for this AWS users ERN number. See, ఇక్కడ ఏమంటాడంటే ప్రిన్సిపల్స్ లో he is allowing this resource ERN AWS IAM user నుంచి ఈ యూజర్ ఉన్నారు కదా యూనిక్ ఐడి ఒక యూజర్ ఒక రూట్ ఐడి ఉంటాయి వాడికి he's giving the full permissions for these two users to allow. He's giving the permissions like allow what kind of actions he can upload. He can initial multiple uploads, or he can even abort that uploads. For these kind of permissions he given. So I was looking for this ARN. Where that's the reason I created one user so that I'll find an ARN for that user. So for time being, what we'll do, we'll allow this on to all users. Read policy, add a permission, everybody, always share actions, add a permission. Okay, see, for users, AWS, he's written a star. Star ante, it is open to all. Anybody can do any actions on that. Save. Okay, we attached one policy for that. So first, how do you establish a walled connection from my on-premises data center to AWS cloud? For that, after establishing a vault connection, you have to lock that vault so that nobody can uh, take that same credentials, same kind of credentials, and they'll make another connection with the same vault. So that the log will be vault for your storage server and AWS Glacier. ఎలా అంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక పైప్ పెట్టాక మీరు ఒక పైప్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ట్యాంక్ నుంచి మీ బాత్రూంలో కానీ ఒక పైప్ పెట్టాక you lock that pipe by using upper kind of lock things, right? Similarly, so ఒక వాల్ట్ గ్లేషియర్ నుంచి మీ ఆన్ ప్రిమిసెస్ లో ఒక సర్వర్ కి ఇన్స్టాల్ చేశాక you log this vault from AWS side so that if you wanted to change the storage server from to another server, as assume other guy has the same access key, secret key, and this AWS Glacier vault information. So he wanted to authenticate into this pipe, or he wanted to change the direction of this pipe to another storage server. If you lock that vault from AWS side, he don't have that kind of scenarios. He cannot do any modifications after we lock it. So what are all the available softwares that are available in the market? The best is, we'll call it as free Glacier, I hope so. Simple Glacier or fast Glacier. So this is a software that you can download. Fast Glacier. This is an open source software we are getting for free. వేరే సాఫ్ట్వేర్స్ కూడా ఉన్నాయండి బట్ with very high good specifications, but they'll charge for that. Just download it and install it. So right away downloaded and installed, and I configured these keys, right? So what I'll do, I'll after that you have to create an account. So what is AWS account name? Account name as test case AWS 44. I'll name it as storage type Glacier. Access key and secret key. What is the access key and secret key? Okay, for that I'll go to this IAM user which I created, permissions, I have to write a policy to this user so that he'll have the full control on this Glacier service. Policies. Okay, go to users, select on the user. So here he don't have any policy generator, custom policy or policy generator. I can create a new policy. Allow what AWS Glacier. Allow permissions on service AWS Glacier. What kind of actions? All actions. ARN number. What is this service ARN number? Next step. Okay, apply policy. So I applied one policy to this user so that he'll have full permissions on Glacier service under this vault, this ARN. Okay, now I downloaded this AWS, whatever the user created. This users use secret key and access key, right? Here it is, access key and secret key. I'll copy access key, Control C, and just keep the access key here and copy the secret key. Okay, so we added an account and I'll try to connect to that account. Sorry, you cannot have more than 2 accounts in this free version. Do you want to upgrade to Pro? Okay, this software problem. Uh, what I'll do, I'll no accounts, manage accounts. I'll delete this account, delete, save changes. You're not allowed to get vault lists. Would you like to add an external vault? So with this user key and secret key, I was not unable to get the vault list. What's the problem? Go for this access permissions. Okay, here everything looks good. I given full permissions. I'll go to I am user. There is a problem with this policy generator only. Add permissions. Add users to group. Okay, I'll create a group. I'll name it as test case group. What are the policies I'll attach? I'll attach for this group Glacier, Glacier full access, create group and review it and add permissions. Okay, now I had this full. And so accounts just guess. Now it is connected, right? So it is connecting. See, it is connecting to every region. See, in Mumbai, whatever that we created test case 44, right? So we got the test case 44 vault details. So under this vault, click on this vault. So let me upload some data to this vault. I'll upload a file, an archive file. I'll just archive this 3 images. I got it archive, and I want to upload this archive at Mumbai region test case thing, test case for this. Upload files on desktop. Where is the test.rar? Open. So it is uploading. So I uploaded one archive. So here let me refresh this one. And another thing is to retrieve the information of what uploads we did on every day, it takes it 24 hours to replicate. And so see the size of this, actually I uploaded some size, right? 464 KB, 462 KB. So it has to be represent here. And how many archives I uploaded? Only one archive. So all this information, to update this information, it takes 24 hours. అంటే మేబీ ఎప్పుడు చేస్తారు వాళ్ళు, they'll keep one scheduled time for checking the archives and representing those values to this dashboard. ఆ పర్టికులర్ టైం తెలియదు, నైట్ చేస్తారు ఎప్పుడు చేస్తారో తెలియదు. సో like that we'll get the information. And if you want to download, delete this, just click delete, delete it. No, he'll delete the archive from there. Or even I can delete this vault. Delete vault. Are you sure want to remove vault 64 nation Pacific Mumbai region? Yes. Unable to delete vault because the vault is not empty, or recently written that we have uploaded some kind of information to it, right? But we deleted it in our workspace. But to actually to replicate that upload size, to delete that upload size, that can be performed in a day. So we can do this after a day, this action, delete action, or if you want to see the upload thing and everything, you can see it after a day, because they'll not continuously take the information, replicate the information of what archives you have been uploading, what is the size of that archive, and they'll not showcase you on this dashboard. Let the user upload, because it is not the most important information. He is uploading some backups. Later at particular time per day, per 24 hours, I'll query to the servers whatever the users has been uploaded, the new archives, and I'll get that information, and I'll represent that information in my dashboard. Because backups ఎలా ఉంటాయంటే ఒక చిన్న నేను ఇందాక అప్లోడ్ చేసిన కేబీలోనో టీబీలోనో ఉండవండి. Those will be in GBs, and those will be not in a one archive size. Maybe they'll have some thousands of archives. సో ప్రతి వాడు అప్లోడ్ చేసే ప్రతి ఆర్కైవ్కి ప్రతి జీబీకి when I start synchronizing, getting the information and representing in the dashboard, so what I'll do, I'll unnecessarily I'll increase my compute performance. నేను ఆల్రెడీ వాడు బ్యాక్ చెప్పాను, వాడు ఆల్రెడీ ఆన్ ద బ్యాక్ హ్యాండ్ ఈజ్ యూజింగ్ ద సెకండరీ సర్వర్స్, అంటే 3 years ఎక్స్పైర్ అయిపోయిన సర్వర్స్. మళ్ళీ ఎక్స్ట్రా బర్డెన్ ఉంది. And even he will at backups will upload some thousands of archives or hundreds of archives depending upon the size of our backup storage. So for that reason, might be he is not giving that spontaneous showcase of the things what we uploaded, the changes that we do with these archives. Okay, and that's it guys. Any doubts on this topic? Hello?
Yeah, Karthik, a bit confused, but once we go through this summary, like whatever the material, and it will be clear, because when you're giving some kind of permissions and like choosing those permissions are
It's simple and
tricky kind of thing.
It's not very. Yeah. It's very. See, usually we write these permissions through this programmatical language, but he is offering you to create these permissions through a GUI. He is calling as policy generators. Okay. Add permission. Custom policy generator. By using, he is giving this policy generator to you through graphics. See, you wanted to allow or deny. Okay. On what service? Select the service name. Right away, these are all the different services of AWS. I was talking about Glacier. So what kind of action? Yeah, vault lock or upload data, create vault, delete data, delete vault, and you can restrict and you can give all everything. It's up to you. On which one, which ERN, which vault ID, provide that vault ID, so that you create this permission and you'll attach this permission to this user. You can take the user under this Basutka.Karthik user only. You are creating this inline policy permission.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Karthik.
Even if you want, you'll find a great examples on this AWS Glacier documentation. Even you can call this Glacier service through not I was calling through Fast Glacier and software unchandi. Basically ఏమవుతుందంటే కొంతమంది products లో they'll use, let us assume I was designing a software, a Fast Glacier ఎవరు డిజైన్ చేస్తాడో, similarly I was also designing a software, free Glacier software name, product name అనుకుందాం, and I was designing this product in Java code. So for this I have to call, authenticate to this AWS Glacier, everything, that how it can be done and how this policies and everything they'll give you in this developer's guide. So you can integrate this AWS Glacier service to your product through API calls. You can perform the actions through API calls, or you can perform the actions through configuring these access key and secret keys to not your product to SDK by downloading software development kit or web, what we did. creating of what, everything we did through web, right? Web console, on his web console, everything in detail information you can find in this developer's guide. What is Glacier? Everything. So just go through this guide, documentation. If you had any doubts, just revert back me. Okay. So
Yeah, Kankar.
yeah, any doubts, guys? Raghav, any doubts from your side?
Sir, missed the class in 10 minutes, sir. PowerPoint లా
Or
కొంచెం
problem?
ఈరోజు అప్లోడ్ చేస్తే కొంచెం చూస్తాను, రేపు చెప్తాను సార్.
Okay. Okay. What about Madhu? Madhu said no in short. Okay. Okay. What about Mauni? Have you, Monica? Do you understood any doubts on this topic? Hello. No doubts. Okay. Okay. That's it, guys. We'll end the session for today, and tomorrow we'll talk about SES, simple email service. The service will be used for sending emails. So every time for every service, while we are talking about this notification services, I was saying we'll configure the SNS topic here or SCS topic here. From this, we'll send the emails. So we'll talk about this on tomorrow. Okay. Okay, guys. That's it for today class. Uh, have a nice day. We'll end this and we'll meet up in tomorrow. Bye bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.